Yoshida Hirofumi. This man's got a first and last name. You know how rare that is in Chainsaw Man? Alright, let's look. Quanshi, Himeno, Reze, Kishibe, Denji. Did I say Kishibe twice? I don't know. I mean, even the main character himself doesn't have a full name. That alone is some early foreshadowing of his hidden OP. Like, there's no way that Tatsuki Fujimoto decided to purposely give this guy a first and last name. He had to have some reason. So Yoshida's just like a normal human. At least it seems like it. His most powerful trait is that he has a contract with the tentacle / octopus devil, or whatever it's called. At first glance, this looks like nothing special. It can grab stuff and squirt ink, which is pretty good. I guess you can make a quick getaway, or you can do a sneak attack. But you know, if I had to choose one of these animals to contract with, it'd be the fox devil, also known as Kurama the Nine-Tailed Fox, or at least that's what it looks like from Naruto. I mean, dude can just one-shot someone. Like, you just do like a hand sign, and then he just comes out of nowhere and he just pops you. And like, I mean, sometimes he spit them out, but for the most part. And plus, he seems to make a contract with anyone. He's got a contract with the whole squad. But we know tentacles in anime are very powerful, especially in certain off-brand. They even have their own tag. Jokes aside, he's definitely one of the strongest people in Chainsaw Man, especially after all the people that have died, or he's one of the strongest people that are left, I guess. He has great fighting skills. Against Quan Chi, he seems to fare fairly well, even though Quan Chi was able to knock out multiple people, including non-humans, in one hit. But maybe he's not a human. He mentions that Quan Chi's force is like unhuman-like, something like that, because like she's like half human, and then he like smiles when he does so. Like, he knows himself. Like, how would you know, bro? Like, he seems like he's hiding something. Like, I don't know, characters that always smile, there's one thing I learned from this series, it's that they are hiding something and they're super strong, and there's probably some disturbing thing. I mean, look at Makima. She's always smiling creepingly, and I never trust her from the beginning, and we know how she turned out. But it's not just Chainsaw Man. Look at my man's Gojo. He's always smiling. He going around calling people weak, like, yo, why? And yeah, those are just the type of character. They're built different. Seems like Kishibe thinks he's better than Kishibe thinks Yoshida is better than himself. That's what I'm trying to say. And Kishibe is definitely one of the strongest people in this series, because he survived his fair share of battles. He must have been a demon slayer. What do you call these things again? Devil hunter. Yeah, devil hunter. He must have been a devil hunter from an early age, because I've seen he was working with Quan Chi, and she was supposedly one of the first, or she is the first. Depends on how you look at it. She might be the first, like, half devil hunter, or she might be the first in historically speaking devil hunter. I think she's probably both. So Kishibe was working with her, so Kishibe has definitely have a lot of experience. And if he's saying that this young dude in high school is better than him, yeah, that's a valid opinion. Also, we're gonna check out this guy's physical appearance. Yes, we're just gonna check him out for real. So look at his hair. It's like got that typical covering his eyes type of thing, like with the bangs. I mean, what else can we say about this? This is like the typical like main character type of hairstyle. It's not just that though. Sometimes if it's covering his eyes, sometimes you get mind control power, and you get to control a lot of people, especially of the opposite gender. This has, or sex, don't cancel me, bro. This has synergy with his tentacle power. But also about his appearance, he's wearing some fashionable stuff. I think I saw this on another video when I was just trying to search up what other predictions people have, because I'm making this video and like Chainsaw Man's about to come out in a few hours. But yeah, someone was talking about how he was wearing like different clothes. And yeah, because I actually read the colored manga recently, and well, I actually read them kind of back to back, because I read it after the colored manga came out, and then I didn't know that it came out, so then I just reread it like right after. So the dude's wearing colored clothes, and everyone else is wearing the same white dress shirt type of uniform. Everyone knows if you have the colored hair in anime, you're a main character. So same applies to clothes in this case. Dude just exudes main character energy. Speaking of clothes, that official uniform that the other guys are wearing, it's supposed to keep you protected. So that time Katana Man tried to kill Aki or whoever, and then Aki lived, it's because he had that protection. So Yoshida doesn't use protection? Yo, his pull-out game's strong. And by that, I mean he pulling out of all the battles, just like how that tentacle saved him from Quan Chi that time. I don't know how he does it, because it looks like he's just wearing like a normal dress shirt, like some cheap one you got from Uniqlo or H&M, or his school uniform. I don't know what school he goes to, but they probably provide him some extra stuff. Another thing is that he has piercing. I think the other video I watched mentioned this, but I wanted to mention that he has these round black dangly, you know, those clip type of ones. And you know who else who has those piercings? Pain from Naruto. And you know, just like Pain, I'm sure Yoshida had like some crazy tragic backstory. The more tragic, the more powerful. There's just a very positive correlation. Very positive. It just comes with the medium of anime. But also Yoshida shares with Kishibe. They have the same style, so it's actually got me thinking that they might be related. I might talk about that later. After all, there's no way a normal high school kid decides to work as a devil hunter for fun. He's got to have some tragic backstory, just like Aki. Like, think about a normal high school kid job. They're working at Starbucks. What's the worst that can happen? Mispronounce some guy's name. Yeah, you hand them and then they get offended. You hand them the coffee and then they get offended by however you pronounce it. Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know, the coffee's too hot. Like, all relatively safe compared to being a devil hunter. I mean, the worst thing you could do is be like a drug dealer in high school. school and get like a pretty good amount of money, but you get a lot of safety if you're dealing to like the other kids your age. But this is way more dangerous, of course, probably way more famous. I mean, way more money. Speaking of famous, which is what I was about to say, this dude is a private sector devil hunter, which might explain why he doesn't have to wear that uniform, but I'm sure he could get that uniform for like cheap from Makima or whoever, but he doesn't want to wear it, so he's probably too strong. Or maybe his uniform is actually even better. So normal devil hunters, they don't go this route of being a private devil hunter. If you can be like a private contractor and hunt devils, especially at like a young age of high school, you are built different. Like I don't know, normally they just go through the government, right? Public Devil Hunters Association, I think that's what they're called. It's not just the physical ability to hunt devils. He had that mental capacity, and it's not just about the fighting too. He had that marketing ability. Like his name, he had notoriety. Like people knew about him. So Makima, when they were doing that mission, she officially contracted him out because she heard about him. So if she heard about him and he's in, I don't know how old he is, like 17 or whatever, I'm just gonna guess. How long has he been doing this? He's got some years of his training. I don't know, unless this is his first time and he's OP from the get-go. But I'm sure he's been working for like at least a year or two. So he must have been a freshman in high school slaying demons. So after the big fight with, I think, the Darkness Devil, he's aware of Makima's ulterior motive. And he's probably been figuring this out for a while. And we don't know what he knows because Kishibe tells him not to pry any further because, yeah, it's dangerous. But Yoshida, he replies, he's like, I got exam. What? He's in high school? So he's able to do all that. But in the end, he's like, I got school. I got homework, bro. I'm out. But, you know, that's actually kind of crazy because he evaded detection from Makima. Makima, she can like sense everything. She can control all the animals. So somehow he was able to figure all this out. And since he's alive, unless Makima had some ulterior motive regarding Yoshida and purposely let him live, we're going to assume that he was able to figure all this stuff out on his own without having Makima know. And lastly, this is just something that I think everyone said, is that the story is going to start taking place in high school. And you know who else is in high school? It's Denji. So they're going to be classmates, of course, or I don't know. There's probably going to be some typical thing where he's like, all the girls like him and he gets jealous. Like Denji's like, oh, I hate this guy. Just like Aki, kind of. He's going to be like kind of like Aki, I feel like, except alive. Actually, I have one last thing to look at. It's his popularity polls. So they're a little too high for how little screen time he gets. I swear he has like 5 panels or something. There's just no way. Like, but the bar is pretty low because I feel like barely any character got any development, and of the ones that did, they're dead. So seems like he's one of the few characters even alive. Ain't no way he's this popular. It's got to be his looks or something. Like, if I was Tatsuki Fujimoto, I'd be riding this hype train. Perhaps he designed Yoshida to be popular for the reason. Like, he's literally got that look of a popular character. Oh my goodness. I've been talking for like 10 minutes already, and I've only talked about one character. I wanted to talk about another character, which is Kobeni. When I first saw Kobeni, I was always thinking, what is that suspicious liquid on her face? Like, that was actually the first thing that was the first thing I thought about in Chainsaw Man. Like, before I read Chainsaw Man, I saw this like car scene, and like I saw her face, and then when I read Chainsaw Man, I saw her face, and the like liquid sweat that was just always on her face. Like, at first she seems super not useful. She makes like a peace sign, she gets like her car wrecked, and she drinks toilet water, she likes ice cream. I guess she can drive, not anymore because she has a broken car. Oh, she's good at Dance Revolution. Speaking of Dance Revolution, she's got some really good physical ability. We don't really know what type of devil she's contracted, which is a major reason why I think that she's going to play a huge part in the part 2 of Chainsaw Man. But we already know she has really crazy physical abilities. I think like one time they were trying to shoot her and she dodged every bullet. Devil abilities usually have some trade-off. Like, they trade something for some power. Probably something physical, or like, you know, part of their life, or like their right eye, like their vision, their taste, or whatever. She seems to literally always be sweating and nervous. So she's trading this huge part of her, I guess, day-to-day life for, I don't know, it must be something insanely crazy. It must be like the emotion devil or something. Oh yeah, one thing. So I think all the higher-ups in the Devil Hunter Association are aware of Kobeni because she's like close enough to like the Makima Squad. And Makima Squad, I forgot what it's called, like the her secret project or whatever. Yeah. So if they're aware of Kobeni, she's got to be something special. But the only thing we know about her is that she sweats a lot and she seems like physically good. So I think her Devil Hunter, when it switches on, when her devil power, when it switches on, she becomes cold and she can just do whatever she wants. Like, as far as we know, the only thing she's got going for is that she's poor and she worked herself up. But how high did she get, and at what extent did she trade off for it? Because it doesn't make any sense at all why she should be here. She seems like she got isekai'd into this show. Okay, this is getting pretty long, but I have actually one last thing to say. It might be Attack on Titan spoilers from manga and anime. I mean, most people probably already know this, but whatever. So basically, well, as long as you've watched Attack on Titan, I think season 3, you should be good. So Chainsaw Man itself makes kind of no sense. There's no way a chainsaw can like erase memory. There's just no way it can like change the future of the world. It literally makes no sense. Most of the things, like, it would seem to me that power should be more powerful than Chainsaw Man. Manipulating blood is crazy. Like, have you seen Avatar? They got like blood bending and stuff. She can make weapons out of pretty much anything. She can pretty much just rip you apart if she wanted to. And blood, like, people are scared of blood. So I'm thinking it might play out to be like Attack on Titan, whereas like Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack Titan, keeps moving forward. Eren gets those future memories into him. That kind of explains everything, which you're not really aware of at the beginning, and you kind of just accept it for how it is. But when it reveals, you're like, oh, this is crazy. So that might be something like that. If chainsaw means something in another language, or there's some crazy history behind chainsaws. But as far as we know, it seems like in this world, humans are more afraid of Bullet from the Gun Devil than actual chainsaws. Unless there was some crazy chainsaw massacre that, I don't know, but if there was, everyone would be scared of those and everyone would be talking about them. Seems like devils are more afraid of chainsaws than the humans themselves. It literally makes no sense how chainsaw can pretty much erase the past and change the future, and the weird mechanic it has with how it like eats you, and then like, yeah, it can like activate its power. So we're gonna get like a reveal like that in part 2, or Fujimoto's just giant troll and just wants to write about chainsaws for fun.